Welcome to the third episode of the Manchester City Rebuild here in EAFC 25 Career Mode, where we are starting off with the Carabao Cup final against Chelsea. Can we get our first trophy of the season? Yes, we can, as we are able to pull off a 3-1 victory against Chelsea. Haaland missed the penalty, but nevertheless, we are the winners of the Carabao Cup and are, adding some more silverware to the cabinet. There we see Florian Wirtz with the Carabao Cup. And now we find out who our next opponents will be for the Champions League. But for now, we focus on this Manchester derby, where we go ahead and get another victory. This time winning 3-1 and painting Manchester blue. We now head into a very important match against Arsenal as we continue to look for that first place spot in the Premier League. Can we get the victory? Yes, we can. Ever since switching the tactics, we have been on fire. However, Phil Foden is injured. We got some more goodness from Pedri. But now taking a look at Foden. 2-week injury. Luckily, it's not too long, but still going to affect us. We have some players in the team of the week. And as I was saying, ever since we switched the tactics, we have just been on fire. Hopefully, we can continue that here in the Champions League now as we look to move on to the next round. And in the first leg, we are able to get a very good victory, 3-2. And now we climb up the table. And we have an opportunity to get very close to first as we face off against Liverpool, last year's winners. A very big and important match. Can we go ahead and get the victory here against Liverpool? A little rotated side from us, but we are still able to catch the victory. 3-1 against Liverpool. I'm telling you, these tactics have been phenomenal. And once more, even one of our loaned out players gets Team of the Week, including Trent. And now back in the Champions League. Can we make it to the next round? We tie the match. But nevertheless, we are on to the next round of the Champions League. Let's see who our opponents will be very soon as we continue climbing that table, getting closer and closer to first place, who is now Aston Villa. We face off against Chelsea, looking for that victory. And yet another victory for us as we beat Chelsea 3-1, and we are just on a very hot streak. Some more of our players in the team of the week. We're doing very good as now we verse Spurs. They gave us our first loss of the season, but this time we get our revenge as we are able to get a 2-1 victory. And now we are at the top of the table and looking to maintain this for a couple of more matches in order to win the Premier League. Now against Newcastle. Nico, who we barely play, the one match we do play him, he gets a red card, but we are able to win 3-1. Now, some more players in the team of the week. As I've been saying, we've been on fire, and look who we have in the semifinals. Manchester City against Liverpool. Can we get the job done here at home? A 2-2 draw. Not necessarily bad, but also not super good. Hopefully we're able to beat them. But now we focus on Wolves. Can we get it done? Yes, another good victory for us, 3-1, as we continue to maintain that first place position. Now, can we make it into the Champions League final? Yes, we can. We beat Liverpool 3-1 in a huge victory at Anfield in order to make the Champions League final, who we will face off against Atlanta. We already versed them earlier this season, and it ended up in a 2-2 draw, so we are very evened out. Now, focusing on the Premier League, finishing up these last couple of matches, we get a 1-0 victory against Norwich. Just trying to secure the Premier League and then focus on the Champions League once more. We have some players in the team of the week. Now a match against Leeds as we continue to just separate from the rest of the crowd. However, we tie 1-1. We still haven't lost in a good while, but with that tie, we are only 1 point away from Aston Villa. So it basically comes down to this final match. We have to win in order to secure. But luckily for us, we are motivated. We are ready, and we have a pretty easy opponent, in Crystal Palace. Can we secure the Premier League and get the double? Yes, we can. A 2-1 victory. And now if we are able to win the Champions League, we'll get the treble. We have a lot of our defenders in the team of the season. Haaland celebrating with that Premier League trophy by now. It is the big one. Can we win another treble with Manchester City, this time under our wing? That is what we're looking for as we hop into the Champions League final. It could be our final match of this series, or we end up losing and we may have to go for yet another season. Now I do want to say, please excuse my gameplay. I am very rusty. I haven't played FIFA in a very long time. I've only been playing WWE 2K, so excuse me. And that's exactly why we're playing on World Class. I'm not back on my good old days, but anyhow, we hop into this Champions League final. We can finish our mission, our goal right here, right now in this match, or Atlanta can win the Champions League and send us on a one more season journey. And who knows if at the end of the season 2 we'll win it. So we're here right now. We might as well take full advantage of this opportunity and win it right here. Atlanta versus Manchester City for the Champions League final. As us, Manchester City, as we look to earn our second Champions League ever, this time not under Pep, under myself, and a chance for another treble. Can we make history once again by not only winning the Champions League, but winning it alongside our other 2 trophies, thus completing that treble? Or will Atlanta get the best of us? Will they be able to pull off the victory? I'm not sure if they've won any trophies back in Italy, but they could still stop us, whether it's treble, a double, or this is only going to be their one and only trophy for the season. They want the trophy, but we need the trophy, and that's why we're going all out in this match. As we just saw the starting 11 for Atlanta. Not the worst side, but when I take a look at my team, at least on paper, we are undoubtedly the better team. And here it is, our picture for the final. Hopefully, we get that victory, a much-needed victory in order to complete this rebuild with Manchester City. Here is our starting 11. In goal, we have Donnarumma. Then Diaz, Bastoni, Balde and Trent, Rodri, Silva and Pedri, Haaland, Foden and Wirtz. That is our starting 11 as we get this match underway. The fans are ready. The players are ready. I am ready. Can we win another Champions League? Can we win another treble and make history once more as Haaland gets this match started for us? We carry the ball into the middle as Rodri sends on to Pedri. Pedri carries the ball, jukes out his opponents, and a through ball to Haaland, who opens up, is wide open, takes a shot, and just like that, we are 1-0. We are up in the Champions League final after just starting the match, and very quickly we are able to take that advantage, gain some momentum. We are now in the lead, and from now on, as long as we don't get scored on, we will be winners of the Champions League. However, that is over 89 minutes of waiting as Haaland scored his 13th goal in 14 matches here in the Champions League. Looking for more, hopefully. But for now, we are 1-0. We have only been in game 3 minutes, and we have already been able to score. And of course, with some high press, we want to continue to do this and stop Atlanta from scoring themselves as they make some nice passes. However, Trent able to intercept, now sending Phil Foden down the wing as he cuts into the middle. He takes a shot, but it hits the post. We were so close from getting our second goal of the match, but Phil Foden wasn't able to put it away. The post saved Atlanta from giving us a 2-goal lead, as now we try to play some possession. As much as I've changed my tactics to some counter-attack, we still have that same identity to Pep's Man City, where it's a lot of passing, just not as much as with Pep. Yes, we like control of the ball, but we'd rather just go quick and score those goals. Obviously, that's made us undefeated ever since the end of January. And a nice tackle by the Atlanta defender to stop Florian Wirtz as they look to slowly move up the pitch. We're looking to stop them. Balde ready to defend. Bellanova running it down the wing as he takes on Balde. Balde not able to stop him as the pass is made into the middle. And our shot! But a very good save from Donnarumma, who isn't able to catch it. However, we clear it, and now it is Manchester City on the attack. Phil Foden back to Trent, onto Diaz, then to Bastoni. Bastoni carrying the ball a little bit into the midfield. Back to Rodri, back to Bastoni. Some good possession, some good passing here, taking full control of the match, making sure that this match is at our tempo, not Atlanta's, as we move forward. It is Rodri who ends up losing the ball, as now Atlanta look to make a counter-attack of their own. And now a throw-in for us. We make a quick throw-in as Rodri tries to get on the attack. His path is instantly blocked. We have to play backwards. Bastoni back to Diaz. Diaz carries, and now into the midfield with Pedri. Pedri carrying the ball. A big long ball. A through ball to Foden, who wasn't able to control it, and now back into the possession of Atlanta as we now head into the 25th minute of the match. We recover with Trent. Bernardo Silva as we look for an opportunity, but he didn't let go of the ball in time. And once more, it is Atlanta, as we haven't been able to get another opportunity after Phil Foden shot. Atlanta, though, may be able to tie up the game with this attack as the ball is sent into the middle. Shot is taken. And yes, Atlanta have just tied up the game. Minute 29, just like that. We were looking good, but an error at the defense. We weren't able to stop them from coming into our box. And just like that, our 1-goal lead is donezo. We are now 1-1. And now have to get another goal in order to take the lead. And well, it's unlucky, but we've had a lot of the possession. We've had good control, so I know we can do it. As Haaland quickly looking to get another goal. But a huge save from the Atlanta goalkeeper, who is able to stop Erling Braut Haaland. As now from the corner, we're looking to get another goal. Haaland. A lot of power on that header, but not enough accuracy to really do any damage to Atlanta. Minutes 32 now. Getting very close to halftime. This match is 1-1 now, thanks to that goal from Atlanta just moments ago. As now they look to carry the ball up back to our side of the field. And maybe they end up getting the lead, as now they're running down the wing. They send it into the middle. It is Maldini. Back to, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. They're in the midfield. Come on. Let's defend, boys. Yes. Bastoni being able to recover the ball. And now, oh, horrible pass. Atlanta is back on it. We need to get some more chances in, some more shots in. Atlanta's looking really dominant. However, Balde stops their attack. Is now Phil Foden. Sends Erling Haaland, who jukes out his defender, is looking for an opportunity, but not agile enough. He's not able to move fast enough as the ball is taken away from him. However, we quickly recover and we still have the ball. It is Pedri right here who sends Erling Haaland. Haaland looking for his second goal of the match. A pass to Bernardo Silva, who takes it kind of into the corner. On to Rodri, to Pedri, back to Haaland, who moves out of the way of the defenders in an easy shot as Haaland scores his second goal of the match, and just like that, just before halftime, Haaland has saved us. We are 2-1 in this match. We got the lead once again. And just before halftime, we were able to knock them down, not only with the scoreline, but also mentally. Atlanta were doing good. They were attacking a lot, but a quick breakthrough from Haaland, which is able to get us his second goal, and Manchester City's second goal gives us that lead just before halftime. And look at me, of course I'm happy, of course I'm excited with this lead, as that almost just gives us a little bit more confidence, a little bit more security when it comes to completing our challenge. Atlanta, though, looking to get one more before the end of the half, but luckily we are able to clear the ball, and just like that, the first half comes to an end. As we get this second half underway, it is Atlanta who gets the ball rolling, and during the halftime talk, I was talking to my team, not only giving them motivation, telling them score more at all costs. No matter what we do, we need to score more. Hold on. This may work quite quickly as Phil Foden on the breakthrough. Wide open and yes! Just like that. 3-1. Manchester City have just gotten a bigger lead. Just like that. Thanks to a very quick attacking Phil Foden. Able to penetrate, just as I was saying during the halftime talk. I told him score. And that's exactly what Phil Foden has just done. But besides just telling them to score, I reminded them of everything they had to go through at the beginning of the season. We weren't the best. We were losing and tying a lot. However, towards the end of January, we activated something within us. The tactics changed. We changed. And we have been undefeated ever since, as now we look for another opportunity. Bernardo Silva! Another goal for Manchester City, as we are now 4-1 in this game. We have a 3-goal lead, and we merely have our fingertips on the Champions League trophy. Now we just need to hold them off and wait for that final whistle. Oh my days, we are so close from completing this challenge. And these last couple of minutes in this match, as much as our lead is huge, these last minutes are going to feel eternal. They are going to take forever, as Atlanta is looking to attack, but a very good defense right there, as Bernardo Silva onto Phil Foden. Back to Bernardo Silva. Through to Erling Haaland, who may have his hat-trick right here, right now. But hits the legs of the goalkeeper and not able to do anything on the rebound. But now Florian Wirtz may be able to pull off a goal of his own. Another huge save from the Atlanta goalkeeper. As much as we already have a big lead, the Atlanta goalkeeper has stopped us from getting even a bigger lead, as we had 7 shots on target. That means he saved around 3. Very good job from the Atlanta goalkeeper. We send the ball back to Donnarumma in order to reset the play and be able to readjust ourselves, as now Balde sends the ball up the field, trying to ping onto Wirtz, but not able to do so, as Atlanta now recover, and they're looking to somehow make a comeback in this match, as now going down the wing, but Balde able to stop them. Now sending Florian Wirtz down the wing as he cuts into the middle. He looks for the pass, but is stopped. I'm surprised that wasn't a foul, but anyhow, it is Atlanta now on the attack, as they themselves run down the wing. Now into the middle, as they continue to carry that ball. We are not able to stop them. We try, and our players are falling apart here on the defense. However, Donnarumma is able to show up for us. And a huge save, as we now are back in control. Minute 70 now. Only 20-ish minutes to go. Still have to think about extra time as well. But the clock is ticking. We are getting very close to becoming the winners of the Champions League and completing our second treble in our history, as Trent carries the ball into Rodri. Rodri to Pedri, who carries the ball on to Erling Haaland, who is just Erling Haaland, the beast, has just scored a hat-trick in the Champions League final. And just like that gives us an even bigger lead. And now this Champions League trophy is in our hands more than it's ever been during the whole match. And we are only 15 minutes away as we try to look for another goal. Can Foden get another shot? No, he is stopped. But everyone is excited. Everyone's feeling nervous. They're feeling jittery. The clock is ticking and we are getting closer to completing yet another treble and winning the Champions League here with Manchester City. However, though, Atlanta trying to still stop us, trying to find a way to score another goal, maybe get back into this match late into it. But we have seen some crazy comebacks, specifically in the Champions League before, so we have to stay strong in the last couple of minutes. They're coming to an end, minute 82. The clock is taking a beautiful touch from Phil Foden as he takes it up the pitch, loses the ball quickly. But that clock is ticking and it does not look like Atlanta will have enough time to score more goals, let alone tie up. But they might be able to get at least one back. But a very good save from Donnarumma allows us to take a little time to relax. And as the manager, I want to give some players who are very important in the squad who didn't start, I want to give them that opportunity to at least play a little bit. The likes of David, Savinho, Marmoush, Garjaval. So we're going to go ahead and make a couple of substitutes. Hopefully they get some action here, even if it's only 4 minutes. As we send a long ball to Erling Haaland. And now into the legs of Trent, into Pedri, who loses the ball, and the clock is ticking. Our substitutes may not be able to play, but I know our players want everyone to get some minutes. Specifically, Balde, I see you right there, putting some high press. And it is Balde who continues the high press with a nice tackle and a throw-in, giving us enough time to not only give a yellow card to the other team, but to also make our substitutes and for the throw-in to be ours. The clock is ticking. A ball sent to Marmoush, who's going to take it up the wing as this final is about to finish. He sends a long ball, and just like that, Manchester City are champions and are winners of the Champions League. We have won yet another treble. We have made history yet again. Thank you so much for tuning into this series. I hope you guys enjoyed this Manchester City rebuild. Maybe an easy rebuild, but still a very fun one and exciting one as Manchester City are Champions League winners once more, and treble winners once again. There it is. We have beat Atlanta 5-1 to become Champions League winners, and a little celebration here in the streets of Manchester as Manchester is painted blue, as once again we're treble winners, we're Premier League winners, Carabao Cup winners, and Champions League winners. These trophies are ours, the memories are ours, the struggles are ours, all the blood, sweat, and tears. Well, it all comes down to this, as we are able to celebrate with the fans, with the players, with myself, as we have made history yet again with Manchester City. Manchester is blue. Now we get a picture of Erling Haaland with the Champions League, and I just want to take a look back, as look at this. January was the last time we lost, as in February, undefeated. March, undefeated. April, undefeated. And obviously May, undefeated. These tactics that we changed were phenomenal and giving us all these trophies, as well as Erling Haaland, 15 goals, top scorer for the Champions League. And in the following season, we were able to win the FA Community Shield, as well as the UEFA Super Cup. But most importantly, stay humble, eh?